Okay, it's 11 o'clock, at least on my watch. So please start the recording. Thank you. My name is Rafał Barnowski. I'm head of sales and marketing activities at EIP Dynamics. We are a gold partner from Europe. And today I would like to deliver a short presentation about a summary of Directions North America. This was a virtual event that took place last week. Yeah, and I have like a big picture overview, and I'll contribute some ideas, some thoughts, and also some information that was shared by Microsoft executives and also partners and MVPs during that conference. Okay, before we get started, some housekeeping rules. The session is being recorded, as you might have noticed, and will last around 15 minutes, and then will be followed by a Q&A. Your microphones will remain muted throughout the duration of this webinar, but you will have a chance to communicate with me and Kuba, who is co-hosting this webinar, through the Q&A and chat buttons. So whenever you feel like you're having a question, please ask it by writing it up in the proper box. Okay, this is the agenda that we'll cover today. I'll start with a topic which probably excites Microsoft the most, and I'll talk about Business Central momentum, where we are currently with the product, with the technology, with the growth, especially. Then I'll move on to discuss what's new in Business Central, and I'll cover areas such as features and performance, onboarding, and licensing. Then I'll show you global availability as it is for the time being, and what countries are coming to Business Central in the following months. Then I will share some miscellaneous ideas that I've picked up while attending different sessions during this virtual event, and I have gathered them as interesting highlights. Then I'll guide you where to go next for further resources, and I'll have a short. I'll provide you short information about our company, about the EIP Dynamics. Of course, we will wrap it up with a Q&A at the end. Okay, so let's get it started. These are some interesting numbers provided by Microsoft, which talk about Business Central momentum. So we currently, Business Central currently has 15K customers all over the world. It only refers to online, so SaaS platform. Please bear it in mind, because when we take into account hosted solutions or on-premise solutions, that will be tens of thousands. That's for sure. So to put it in perspective, Business Central Online debuted, I think, 2 years ago. It was in spring 2018. And since then, we have accumulated 15K customers. So I think in a year or 2 years from now, we should be bigger than our most notable born in the cloud competitors. What is maybe even more interesting, and even myself, I was surprised by this number. I was aware that there's more than 1,000 apps on the App Stores. In fact, it's more than 1,500 as of today. But what is interesting is that it's the most when you take into account a single Microsoft product. So not even Outlook, not even Excel, not even Microsoft Teams, not even SharePoint have more apps on the App Stores. So it shows how strong, how big, and how prolific this community, this Dynamics community is. So there is a lot of value added on the App Stores, that's for sure. What is also interesting was the annual user growth, because last time when Microsoft shared the number of customers was in the fall, and it was 10K customers. But they said that over this time, the annual user growth was around 200%. So what it shows is that bigger and bigger customers are moving to Business Central Online, and also that existing customers are adding seats, are adding licenses. And yeah, also the ecosystem, the community is 2,700 partners strong. So I think that's around half of the partners or serious partners that are dealing with NAV and Business Central globally are now have already some experience in the cloud. Okay, now what's new in Business Central? Divided into those 4 areas. We'll start with features, then I'll move to onboarding, licensing, and performance. By the way, a full list of features that are coming with Business Central 2021 Wave 1, which was published, which rolled out on the 1st of April this year. You will receive a link to the full list of features at the end of this presentation. There will be around 40 of them. I'll focus on just a few. The most requested for, and this comes from the BC Ideas portal, so this was requested by partners and by customers, is report extensibility, which essentially says that the reports can now be improved, enhanced with extensions. So the benefit here is that when we enhance a report, we create a small extension to it. So we don't take responsibility for, let's say, 1,000+ lines of code, that are within this report, but are just, creating an extension which has only 50 lines of code. So that makes this very manageable. The second thing, and this is something that partners have created for their customers a long time ago, but it's now coming to Business Central Online as a standard. It's dimension corrections for GL entries. So what you can do now is on the general ledger entries page, you can execute correct dimensions action, which lets you essentially edit existing dimension or add a new dimension or delete a dimension. And because the data is only used for the financial reporting, it doesn't need to be corrected on the source document. So, so that's why it could have been introduced. Then we have some improvements related to bank and payment reconciliations. So now from bank account reconciliation page, you can cancel bank reconciliation, and related to payment reconciliation journal, you can apply it against employee ledger entries. That's also a novelty. And 2 more, there was a separate session about a universal print, an online service which provides print services. What is interesting here is it's an Azure-based cloud printing solution. It offers for the admins, it makes admins' life easier by offering a centralized print management via what is called Universal Print Portal, and it's fully integrated with Azure Active Directory, so it makes it easy to add Azure AD users to this service. There are also some enhancement improvements around entitlements and permission sets, which are delivered in a completely new and revamped way. Number 2 would be onboarding. It might be a little bit strange or even funny that we are mentioning it 2 years into the product cycle of Business Central. It just shows that it was not necessarily a product born in the cloud, but it's certainly getting there, and it shows how much Microsoft has put effort and resources into making it a very good and advantageous onboarding experience. So when your first Business Central tenant is provided, you have this checklist which guides you through what actions you need to do at the beginning of using the system to set it up. That's the first thing. So this is like a fully guided experience. And then there is a second interesting feature, which is called teaching tips. They work a little bit like tooltips. So on a certain page, a box will appear, which will explain, let's say, what this button does. When you click it, it will show it, and a new screen appears. And again, a box will appear, which will guide you through a certain process or explain what is on a page. So I think that moving forward, Microsoft will invest even more to enhance it, because it's a really promising and powerful feature for unexperienced users. So the whole experience of onboarding Business Central can be supported strongly by this self-learn activities. Okay, number 3 is licensing, and this is very interesting. This addresses one of the biggest concerns that partners have expressed over the last several months. So the entitlements and the provision has changed when it comes to storage plans. Essentially, it's now more competitive. It's cheaper. With each Business Central, you have this base entitlement of 80 gigabytes. But what is new is that per user allocation is something that you will be offered as well. So for each essentials, full essentials users, you will get 2 gigabytes more of storage. And for each premium user, you will get 3 gigabytes more. So now when you write up certain customer scenarios and have a look at or try to model how your database will grow over the years, how your user count will grow over the years, there will be very few examples or very few models where you need to actually pay additionally for the storage. And when you do, those prices have dropped significantly. Yeah? So additional gigabyte costs now not 40 but $10, and additional 100 gigabytes costs as low as $500. So this is something that the community was waiting for. The changes are effective from 1st July this year, and it will help us a lot. I'm sure, competing with other cloud providers. Okay, the last but not least is performance. There are many areas where Business Central has sped up. I will probably highlight 2 or 3 of them. It's of course a little bit difficult to hold Microsoft accountable for those numbers because they're very specific and there are so many of them. But of course, the general experience of using the online client is that it's really robust. There are no glitches. It works very fine. So to illustrate it with some specifics, posting to payment journal is 2 times faster, almost 2 times faster. API performance can be up to 5-6 times faster, and report performance up to 3-6 times faster. So again, there is a lot of commitment, a lot of resources that Microsoft is investing in this area, and that shows. All right, now moving to global availability. It's now pretty clear that most of the North America, Europe, Australia, Oceania is covered already. There is some significant presence in Latin markets, with Brazil being the most notable example. But certainly Business Central is underdeveloped or underrepresented in Asia and in Africa. It will improve a little bit with the addition of India and Turkey, which were added back in April. And there are several more countries which will be rolled out within this wave. So just as a reminder, a wave lasts 6 months from April to September. This is wave number 1. And the second wave is from October to March. So with wave 1 of the 2021 release, we will have several more countries in Africa. We'll also have Saudi Arabia, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka in Asia. So more and more countries are covered, making business global solution. Okay, some interesting facts. There was a partner from the Netherlands, Easy Step 2, that was especially that received an applause from Microsoft for providing barcode capabilities to GitHub for other partners also to contribute and develop. There was a very strong and specific announcement from Microsoft about on-premise solutions. During earlier conferences, whenever asked about on-premise solutions, Microsoft used to respond that there is nothing to announce here, but now they have confirmed their full commitment to the on-premise solutions, making it clear that Business Central is their, let's say, that this is the realization of their cloud-first strategy, but they're also investing still in Business Central on premises and Dynamics GP, which are on the roadmap for the foreseeable future for sure. Here is a strong signal that these products are still very important and are on the roadmap to be developed. So that was really good. There was one strange thing about SMB competency partners. So the session was canceled with no explanation. I know that many partners are interested about it. So there was nothing new to be announced during Directions North America Virtual this time. There were also questions from partners about SMB advanced competency, if it's coming up or not. Also, no clear announcement about that. So we are a little bit in the unknown here. Many partners that are already strong in implementing Business Central have suggested that fixed price model for such implementations is a very good idea and are following this path, which is very interesting because typically IT implementations in North America and in Western Europe are based on a time and material model, more agile approach. And there was new publisher program announced, and I'm now quoting the program manager behind it. So this program for partners will gradually introduce fees that will increase from September 2022 onward for those publishers who have sold on-premise solutions to new customers without equivalent cloud-based solutions. So what Microsoft is saying essentially is that go to the cloud, make your app for the app source, you will receive your object range for free. Then you can build your on-prem solution. But if you do this the other way around and build only the on-prem solution without the app source one, you will receive fees. Yeah, so that's the feature that's coming, which is very much in line with Microsoft strategy. Nothing strange or unusual here. It's just reconfirming the commitment to the cloud. Okay, so some ideas where to go next, where to look for some further resources. First of all, this is the one that I mentioned. You have the release plan for Business Central, the most current one, so the Business Central 2021 Wave 1. You will be able to read about around 40 new enhancements to the product. You can join the conversation on Twitter. This is the official Business Central account, but I also strongly recommend that you search for Business Central and Dynamics NAV MVPs, so most valuable professionals. These are people that have the best knowledge, the most exposure in the community, have very interesting ideas that they share, typically on Twitter. You can leverage learning courses on BC Learn. I checked it this morning. We have already 222 modules grouped into 52 learning paths. So a lot of material there. There are also some samples of code resources on BC Tech. And you can always submit your ideas and vote for the existing ideas on BC Ideas portal. Microsoft product team, they emphasize it every time they have a chance to, that they start their Monday meetings looking through those ideas, searching through those ideas, and selecting those that will be in their future pipelines. Okay, so this is probably it when it comes to the summary. Now, just a few words about EIP Dynamics, and we can have a short Q&A session. So EIP Dynamics is a Gold Microsoft partner, which was a Partner of the Year on 3 occasions. We have a strong team placed in Poland with 70 employees there, including 21 experts, people who have at least 10 years of experience. And the team is based in Poland, but our customers are all over Europe, and we can say in some parts of the world as well, because we have also customers in the US and in Canada. And we cover the whole CE region, also Scandinavia, Germany, Benelux countries, and the UK. These are our go-to markets. And this event, today's event, is just a start of a series of events. We'll have 4 more this spring. So my colleagues, Łukasz and Mateusz, will follow with Business Central Look and Feel webinar, which is 2 weeks from now. So you can pull up your phones now and scan the QR code that is displayed here. You will be taken to our Zoom landing page where you can register for this webinar. The other one is with our customer about Continua document capture. The next is about mobile nav. So this is a powerful warehouse add-on for Business Central. And the last but not least, we'll have a case study with one of our customers on the 30th of June. So that will be it. You're invited to all of those events. I hope that you enjoyed today's session. You learned a bit, and maybe you have some follow-up questions that I will try to look at in the chat and Q&A window. Okay, my colleague Jacob has provided direct links to the webinars that I have mentioned. I can't see any questions coming, so we might be wrapping up. Okay, so if anything comes up, you can reach me via email or via phone. You can also look me up on LinkedIn. So if I can help you in any way, I'll be very, very keen to do so. Thank you for your time this morning. Have a good rest of the day, and I hope to see you on our future events. Bye-bye.